I can't do it. My tummy hurt.
Hello, Internet. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you dare. That's the very best way you can help me here, and I hugely appreciate it. Thank you so much in advance. This adventure begins where the last one left off, which was with me finally building up the courage to cast off the lines and set sail for Paradise Cove. All right, so quick update. We're about an hour in. We've done 3.6 nautical miles, I think, and I had the full main out, but I decided to put in just 2 reefs because I'm a big baby and I'm scared. The aim was to shake down Dagny, but more importantly, I aimed to shake down myself. At the beginning, conditions were calm. I was averaging about 3.5 knots. Soon, though, the gale force conditions that were already plowing through the slot were finding their way through the man-made canyons of downtown San Francisco and blasting down in my direction in strong fingers of wind. So far, Dagny's dinghy was enjoying the ride. On the starboard side, you'll notice a large stationary object, which should be avoided at all cost. The old end of the Bay Bridge loomed large in the distance, giving me a very clear indication of where the dreaded slot began. The dreaded slot would be a good name for a bar or a casino or an ex-girlfriend. Made it past a buoy with a seal on it, which is a good indicator of a favorable growing season in China, if I'm not mistaken. So we've all got that going for us. Then came the surreal noise of traffic coming from above. Let it be known that this is the only way I enjoy the sound of traffic. When it comes from above like this. This poorly placed plinth stole all my wind, and then I was in the slot. I had done it. I had reefed often and reefed early. With 2 reefs in the main and only a sliver of Dagny's headsail, we were flying along at 6 to 7 knots. Dagny's dinghy looked a little nervous back there, but she was holding on. I didn't know if I was going to use the dinghy when I got to Paradise Cove. I was more interested to see if this was an appropriate way to move Dagny's dinghy about. So far, so good. Soon, I was in the middle of the dreaded slot. Waves of regret and frustration from past romantic relationships washed over me in a steady, strong, laminar flow. Dagny plowed forward. It felt really good. It felt like, together, Dagny and I could defy physics, like we had acquired a new superpower. The wide shot makes it look all so placid, peaceful even. And to be honest, it really wasn't that bad. I got all nervous for nothing. know what the wind speed was here, as I do not own a functioning wind meter. If I had to guess, I'd say 20 knots, 25 knots maybe. Sometimes, when a particularly strong gust would blow through, Dagny would nose up into the wind, and R2-D2 wasn't fast enough to keep up. R2-D2 ain't so good at avoiding other sailboats who seem to be aiming right for you. I opted to hand steer for a minute. Notice that a sailboat with no reefs in its main entering the frame in the top right-hand corner. Notice that it is also flying a full head sail, while I sail along happily with a double-reefed main and about half of my head sail. Yes, she's faster, but she's been creeping up on us since we entered the slot, and is just now passing us. So not that much faster than a double-reefed Dagny. Look at how much she's heeling over. I'm no expert, but I'd say that they were spilling out most of the power in their sails over the top. She attempted attack right in front of me, which was greatly appreciated because then I got a really good view of them cocking it up. Again, I can't help but think that having too much sail up would make the boat stall out faster in a turn, and it would behoove this mariner to put away some of those pretty black sails. But I guess that would defeat the point of having those pretty black sails. Next, I came across a fleet of civilian fishing boats. They had all converged at this one spot for some reason. Must be an epic view of Alcatraz or something. It was especially satisfying to cruise through all the motorboats under sail. I got close enough to study their faces, and you could see each one of them painfully calculating the fuel costs for the day. Then you could see where the bay water met the fresher waters of the Pacific. Upon reflection, this convergence of currents is a more likely reason for the plethora of fishing boats in the area. More so than the views of Alcatraz, I reckon. A little further on, and I was in the wind shadow of Angel Island. Here I met another super fancy sailing vessel that appeared to be aiming right for me. There were moments when I felt underpowered, though I never felt out of control, and that was the main goal of the day. And then, there was no wind again. I'm very grateful that I managed to get this engine fixed. When I reached Paradise Cove, Dagny's diesel was well warmed up, and I prepared to lower the sails. There were several sailboats already anchored, but there was still plenty of room. I picked a spot with room to swing around when the currents changed later that night. Dagny is prepared with an awesome Rockna 10 anchor and 150 feet of galvanized chain. It's one of the nicer pieces of kit I have on this boat, and I can deploy the anchor by pushing a button in the cockpit. Easy peasy. The anchor set easily on a muddy bottom. Paradise Cove is a properly rolly anchorage. I thought about rowing Dagny's dinghy ashore, but I was wiped out. You don't realize how much energy you're expending just standing upright on a small boat that is pitching and rolling. When I had finally gotten things secure for the night, I only had enough energy to film this incredibly ugly cargo ship. And the late evening sun running back and forth down below.
That's what to say, Tom. Aye, aye, sir. All hands, stand by to make sail. Weigh anchor.
Coming up in next week's episode. Just passing by Little Island, just went past the first little slot there, Raccoon Strait, and I really wish I had a wind meter. Well, we're right in the slot now. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment too. Again, this is the very best way you can help me make more content like this on a more regular basis. So thanks again. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you next time.